Hey, friends all over the world. I want to bring something to your attention. Now, of course, I'm making this video from the United States of America. Sorry, just got out of the pool. If I look a little ashy there, sorry about that. Trust the science, they say. Just trust the science. They told us to trust the science. It's amazing. This is like a moniker right now, when it comes to everything that's been going on over the last almost 2 years now. Trust the science. Trust the science. And here's what concerns me about this rhetoric of trusting the science. We act as if science has a track record of infallibility. Just trust the science. Just trust the science. The science is always right. They told us, when it comes to social distancing and it comes to all these things, just trust the science. Science will never lead you wrong. You can trust the science. That's what they told us. Well, I started thinking about a few things historically. So, the Bayer company, the pharmaceutical company, manufactured heroin as a cough suppressant. There was heroin in the cough syrup. Who signed off on that? You remember the movie Wizard of Oz? Remember when the snow's coming down in Wizard of Oz? That was asbestos. That was asbestos coming down as snow. And I'm sure there was somebody, there had to be somebody that said, what, this is fine. This will be just fine. It won't hurt you at all. This will be just fine. Don't even worry about it. Just trust the science. They had asbestos raining down as snow, and they told us, just trust the science. Or how about the fact that they put cocaine in Coca-Cola? Hence the name Coke. There had to have been someone that said, you know what? It's fine. You guys will be great. Just drink it. You'll be great. Or the fact that they used to put arsenic in green paint and then put it in the dye for fabric. So women were wearing arsenic that was killing them. But I'm sure there was somebody during that time that said, you know what? It's just fine. You'll be fine. You'll be all right. Here's my question. When are we as a people going to think for ourselves and make informed decisions? Informed decisions. When you tell folks that they're dumb, that they're superstitious, paranoid for asking questions, when we've seen historically that science was not always right. Was not always right. Did you know I read a medical journal from the 1950s that had empirical evidence that the African American, or at that time they referred to them as the Negroid was the close relative of the ape, and that if if the African American or the African or the Negroid would mate with a Caucasian or European, they would give birth to an animal. This was in a scientific journal. A scientific journal. They had arsenic in the paint, in the bonnets that women wore, in the wallpaper. And folks were dying, and they realized, okay, you know what, this is not okay. Trust the science. It'll never lead you wrong. The science is always right. Just trust the science. And got emails telling us that, nah, something ain't right. See, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist now. I'm raising a more important question. What else have we blindly trusted that today could be hurting us? What is it that could be pushed as an agenda now that we look back 10 years from now or 10 months from now and say, you know what? We were wrong. That was dangerous. That wasn't what we thought it was. They told us when I was coming up, look at you remember the food chart? What did they say? They said eat cheese in the morning, eat your dairy, drink your milk. Yeah, eat your wheat bread. And now that science is telling us that wheat bread is full of lectins that destroy your small intestines. They're saying that the bread is full of gluten that's destroying your gut. Then they say that the dairy is producing inflammation and lactose intolerance. The very thing that they told you to consume when you were a kid. They had it, the FDA approved it. I'm sorry, the Department of Agriculture approved it. They approved it. They said this is what every child should be eating in public schools. And now we have heart disease out the yin-yang. We have people with metabolic syndrome out the yin-yang. We got folks with glucose intolerance, lactose intolerance, irritable bowel syndrome, diabetes, high triglycerides, cancer. They told you to drink fluoride as a baby. You know, the children didn't even have teeth. Babies didn't even have teeth. They had gums, and they said drink the fluoride. And now they're finding out that fluoride can be hazardous and carcinogenic. But trust the science. Just trust it. It'll work out for you. It'll work out for you. It'll work out for you. It'll be all right. Just trust the science. You'll be fine. Science will get you there. No. See, this is the New World Order. This is the New Age agenda to take our trust away from God and to cause us to put our trust in man. You see, 666 is not just a number. It's what the mark represents. It's man putting trust in man. It is idolatry. It's idolatry. Just trust the science. The science will lead you right. Let's just trust the science. They were giving folks insulin shock therapy to treat schizophrenia. Science has never been empirical. It has never been totally objective. It has never been infallible. It's always developed. It's always changed. Well, watch this. During Vietnam, they took Agent Orange and they sprayed it on vegetation. And the people who got it on their bodies got cancer, and the people spraying it got cancer. Then they went and buried it near the Chesapeake Bay. And people who lived in that community began to have carcinoma, myeloma, and some of the worst forms of cancer known to man. Who signed off on that? Who signed off on it? Who said, you know what, that'll be great. That'll be fine. Yeah, fine, just do that. It'll be wonderful. That's great. That's great. That'll be great. And they told you that somebody ate a bat burger, right? They just ate a bat burger, and that bat burger is responsible for, and you sat there with your degrees. I mean, you got degrees. You got an associate's, you got a bachelor's, you got a master's, and with all your degrees, you sat there and you swallowed that thing whole. We still haven't dealt with Flint, Michigan. We still haven't dealt with the lead in the water. Nobody's even talking about it. But you know what? Just trust the science. Because really what they're telling you is not just to trust the science, they're saying trust the system. System won't fail you. You better trust God. You better trust God. Am I saying that we shouldn't listen to doctors, that we shouldn't listen to experts? No, I'm not saying that. I have many experts. Some of you on here are experts watching me now, and you are spirit-filled, you love God, you believe in Jesus, you all of that, but you even know that you still got to pray about stuff. You got to pray about stuff. You got to say, God, what is really going on? When's the last time you prayed and said, Lord, what did you have to say about all of this? What are you saying about all of this? What's, because let me tell you something. The way this is set up, it can never bring the salvation. Science cannot bring salvation. Only Jesus can do that. Only God can save us. We need to rely on the power and the presence of God. What happens when you can't fill that prescription? What happens when all the pharmacies close down? What happens when the hospital shuts down? Or what happens when it's overrun and you can't book an appointment? They can't see you. There's no ventilator available. There's no antibiotics available. Do you understand where I'm going with this? At that point, you're going to have to say, God, what you talk about in this Bible, where folks coming out of graves and being totally resurrected and healed, that stuff is real. We need to turn back to God, church. Beloved friends, brothers and sisters, let's turn back to God. Am I telling you to reject doctors and reject medicine? Absolutely not. But we need to put our trust in God. I'm not demonizing anybody. I'm not vilifying anyone. I'm not saying anybody is wrong. If you feel that it's the best for you and your family to make a decision concerning your health to protect yourself from a virus, then Godspeed to you, friend. But all I'm telling you is that if we look and if we pay attention, we will see that things have not always been what they seem. Jesus is the healer, and Jesus is Lord. Share this with somebody.